I'm Samantha Goodman, and I'm proud to be the 2021 Honorary Chair for the Gutsy Walk this year. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 14 years old. For about 2 or 3 years beforehand, I was feeling really, really sick. My stomach was bothering me. I was really skinny. By the time I was 14, I weighed about 70 pounds. I remember I was at camp one year and I kept going to the washroom, and the counselor said to me, "What are you doing during the meals? Like, are you messing around? Why are you always going to the washroom?" And I couldn't really explain it. I just always had to go. So after a bunch of tests, I was admitted one night to SickKids to the emergency room. My dad took me, and they quickly did a colonoscopy, and they saw that I had Crohn's disease. All the ulcers were there, and I didn't know what that meant. It was very scary. I started on prednisone, so I started on steroids, and that was really difficult because I gained a bunch of weight, about 20 pounds. And as a 14-year-old teenager, that's really, really hard to gain a bunch of weight so quickly. But I did start to feel better. I started to get an appetite. I was able to participate in gym class again. I had a lot more energy, so that was really promising. And after that, I was on methotrexate, which was a shot once a week. And my mom had to give that to me, and I know that that was really tough for her to have to do, and just for both of us. And following that, I was on Remicade for 7 years, and that was really helpful. Going in for the infusions and meeting other people who were going through the same thing as me, but unfortunately, I did have an allergic reaction to Remicade, and I really learned that even if you're on a good course, sometimes things can go wrong no matter what. And so, despite being in remission, that still happened. And today I'm on Symphony, and I never thought I'd say this, but I give myself a shot every 4 weeks, and I've learned how to do it. And I'm very proud of myself for that. So, it's definitely been an up and down journey over the last 10 years. I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of really incredible people, and I'm happy to say that I'm in remission. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. All of my colonoscopies and MREs say positive things. So that's all you can hope for. Having Crohn's disease hasn't been easy. There's definitely some days where I wish I didn't have to go for a colonoscopy, or I wish I didn't have this pain and be tired a lot of the time. But, you learn from these experiences and they make you more resilient. And I definitely feel like I have a lot more empathy towards people who are going through struggles because I've gone through this myself and still continue to face it every day. Well, the positive side for me has been the resilience that I've gained. I've become much stronger as a person having to go through this at such a young age. I've also become a lot more empathetic to other people and the struggles that they're going through. During my final year of university, I started a Crohn's and colitis support group at Carleton University for other people who are facing the same kind of thing as me. So we could get together and talk about what we're going through, the ups and the downs. And that was really positive because I was able to act as a leader as well as get to know a bunch of other people who are facing the same thing as me and to show them that you're never alone. I've also been a part of Crohn's and Colitis Canada and have met a wonderful community of people who are always there to help and raise awareness and raise money for such an important cause. So hopefully we can have a cure one day. This role is really important to me because I feel honored to be able to represent other people with Crohn's and with colitis who are suffering from these diseases every day. It is so important to raise awareness and also to pay tribute to the amazing doctors and nurses at SickKids and Mount Sinai, the two places that I went, and other hospitals across the country who are treating people for these diseases, and hopefully to one day raise awareness to finally have a cure so none of us have to suffer from this ever again. The funds raised from this walk will give researchers and doctors and important people more funds to be able to look for a cure, as well to just understand more about the disease so that we know what's happening inside of our bodies and we're able to figure out ways to help us feel better in the long run. As well, during this time, it's ever more important to know how people are suffering and to truly understand what they're going through so that we can find a way to help them. And these funds ensure that, other young people like myself don't have to go through having colonoscopies or giving themselves shots or the stress that goes with having one of these diseases. So hopefully we can live in a place where we don't have them anymore. I think when you are battling a disease that people can't see, it can feel very, very lonely, like you're the only one who's going through this. And I started speaking out about my disease in university, and I found that I got an overwhelming response from people who were either suffering from it, knew someone who was, or just in general were going through a hard time. And I was able to really support them and talk through what they were going through. I think it's so important for people to really understand that even in your darkest times, when you're suffering, when you're struggling, when you feel like there's no hope, that other people are going through the same thing and that you are not alone and you never have to be alone. There's always someone out there who will understand. And it can be scary to be vulnerable and talk about this, but ultimately it's so rewarding because it brings all of us closer. I think it's important to be able to look at someone, and when you see them, you never see the full picture. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what they're going through, and everyone has a story. Everyone's going through something. So, to be able to talk about Crohn's or ulcerative colitis with somebody else shows that someone just like me or you can have this disease and still lead a wonderful and normal life, just having these challenges. And it's so important to talk about because you can talk about the medication, the doctors, the pain, the struggle, and suddenly you're no longer alone in it. Someone else understands what you're going through, and you're never alone when there's this wonderful community of peers who can help you through this and who can make this a little bit, this difficult journey, a little bit better. Yes, I did just want to say that there is hope. There's hope that this big community and spreading the word and talking about Crohn's and ulcerative colitis will make a difference. Using our voices together, we will bring a change. We will hopefully find a cure, and we are a strong community where nobody is alone. Walk with me Sunday, June 6th. Together as one, we walk to stop Crohn's and colitis.